Said I was going to do it. The only way it's going to get done is if I do it. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. But I do want to do it, but I'm nervous to do it. Welcome to Byte My Bits. This has been my studio for a long time. At least somewhere around there is what you see. Give or take some change. But now I'm going to change this up. I'm going to put brick in the background. And I don't know how well it's going to look. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be visible seams for the brick. So this is probably going to turn out a disaster. But I want to make a change. And I'm not going to be able to make a change unless I actually do it. So I got to start by taking down the bookshelves, which a few of them there. Take down the bookshelves and then start doing some measurements and then figure out the best way to cut this is Fox brick stuff that I got from Menards, which I'm pretty sure is just going to be a saw thingy, whatever it is. What do they call it? It's not a chainsaw. Skill saw? Yeah, a DeWalt skill saw. Biggest worry is look at that. Look at that dead spider right there, stuck on the tape. And there's probably all kinds of spiders just hanging out back here, just waiting, especially over here. Check this out. A little bit of close up. Where to go? See that spider web? Yeah, I haven't dusted or cleaned this really at all. So there's probably spiders in here. Pretty sure. Nope, no spiders. There's definitely spiders in here somewhere. I may die. I'm just throwing that out there. Look at all that's a big spider web. Yeah. I'm no construction person, so I'm not really entirely sure what you're supposed to do with these things. You're supposed to rip them out, leave them there? I mean, how do you get those things out? What do you do? Maybe use this. You just... that really... Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna have to... worry about that later. All right, so whenever I, have to readdress this, definitely gonna have to put some Bondo wall spackle on there and clean those up. But thankfully, with just holes, that's actually not too hard to do. You just and sand it down. Arg. When I installed these shelves the first time, or the only time, I installed one shelf and they came with all these little crappy, tiny piece of crap screws, and the head broke off when I was screwing it in here. So I used sheetrock screws for the rest of them. Those came out great, but these little piece of crap screws don't, and now this one's stuck. So that's gonna be fun. If you look right there, look at that. My head snapped off. So I'm gonna have to try to take this drill bit. I hope it's the right drill bit because it's the only one I have. I'm gonna have to try to drill it out. It's not gonna work. Something tells me I need glasses. I don't know how to drill that out. I might need a slightly different tool. I'm not entirely sure what this thing is called. It's like a oscillating cutter thingy, but the goal here is not to save the shelf. So either way, this thing's coming off. So there's that.
go. That's how the professionals do it.
So now that I got everything off the wall, I took the little wall plates off, got everything off the wall, and I have a choice. I have this conundrum, right? This thing comes out a little bit, as you can see there, and I also have trim at the bottom. So, like, do I take the wall up to there and then just ignore that spot and try to, pretend that doesn't exist? Or do I somehow claim that, I don't know, is that about a 2x4? Probably. Yeah, it's about 2 inches, give or take. Actually, I guess I have a... Yeah, about 2 inches. See, finger is 2 inches. I learned that a while ago. But anyway, so I could maybe staple some 2x4s to the wall, right? And then that would allow me to bring it out throughout the whole thing, and I would claim another 6 inches. I mean, here's a 2x4. So if I were to stick that right there, yeah, it wouldn't be big enough. Because 2x4s aren't really 2x4s. You know how that works. I mean, I guess if I really think about it, for the most part, I just cut that edge out and I just make sure the camera doesn't show that angle. So really, the best thing is probably going to be leaving the trim, right? Leaving the trim down there, putting the board right above the trim to where it sits on the trim, and then just cutting it up into that point. So I have this little white piece here. It'd be a little weird if the camera ever goes over there, but I don't know. I'll be all right. But I just measured it. It is 89 inches from trim to ceiling. It's actually 89 and a half, but I'm gonna cut it at 89. So I have a little bit of, give there. It really doesn't have to be all the way up to the top, realistically, because you never see the top anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna cut 89 inches of something. Oh, I need a tripod. These are the panels that I got, and I got 4 of them. I'm gonna have to cut one long ways, but I basically got a couple 2x4s, and I put it up there to prop it up, and then I'm gonna get a skill saw, and I measured it out, and 89 and a half inches is 3 bricks. So instead of having to mark it, I'm just gonna cut at the bottom of the 3rd brick on this side, and that would be, again, a little bit shorter, but we're talking, at the top, so you won't really see it, and there'd be no reason for the camera to be up that high anyway. So, but that'll give me, an easier cut. Now the fun part is, I've never actually done this before, but I got to measure out the plug-in before I put this panel up, and make it work. Like cut a hole in that. Here's the reason why you always measure twice and cut once, because I measured this completely jacked up. Like it is not even, first of all, here's the edge of this side. So really I should have drew the box this way, right? And the measurements are kind of off anyway. So I'm gonna try this again because I'm dumb. Yeah, I am a construction worker now. I added the wall plate. Of course, I kind of expected this, but it kind of sucks in a little bit. So the whole idea though with this whole new wall is that I'm gonna try to find a way to cover up the wall plates with like a shelf or something, you know, like something like that where I'm gonna have in front of it this time, actually plan my shelves slightly better than what I did the last time. So yeah, you know, so far so good. Yeah, you see that? Look at that. Oh man, I'm gonna have to paint it. God, that's what I was worried about. Oh, I think I like the way it's going, but that big crease down the middle, and I had to use the oscillating thing to cut the bottom just so I can get this to line up because the bricks weren't even lining up at all. So not only was there that gap, but it wasn't even lining up. So I had to, like, this wasn't even to sit on there. So I had to cut a little bit with that tool to get that to sit right on that. So I think I'm gonna have to just fill this gap in with some caulking and probably paint over all of this brick with white. I think. I mean, it's already not white enough. I kind of like the off-white a little bit, but maybe I should go all white. I don't really know, but that freaking line right there, there's gonna be another one right there. So I'm gonna have to tackle that tomorrow. I know I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit here, but I just kind of did this without setting up any kind of camera or anything like that. Again, I'm really just hating it, and I'm definitely gonna have to spackle, sand, and then just paint this whole thing. I don't know what color yet, but it's probably gonna be white or some kind of an off-white. But something I don't like, aside from the obvious seams, right, and the bricks not lining up, which is gonna drive me insane. But what I also don't like is this, even though that doesn't matter too much because I'm going to try to cover it up, but there is a chance that I'm not gonna be able to cover it up. So I had a little temporary thing of idea here where I basically just pull this out and add a little spacer behind here, right? And then just screw it back in and tighten it back up. Basically bringing this out a little bit. So that was the idea. And basically what I'm doing is using some extra pieces of the board that I cut, right? So I use some of that, put that in there, and space it on the wall. Probably a terrible idea, but it's gonna work. But in a completely unrelated turn of events, the lights flickered a couple times. So I know it's gotta be completely unrelated to this. And there's the end result. Got little spacers in there, right? All right, now I'm gonna put the plate on and it's gonna look amazing because that was genius. Modified version, not perfect, still a little weird, but a lot better than this. So, okay, after some heavy consideration and kind of setting on this whole project, right, overnight, I've concluded that I'm just gonna double down. I hate it, right? And I'm just gonna stick with it. So off to Home Depot I go to get a bucket of spackle, a few things of paint, maybe a paintbrush, sandpaper, and all that other good stuff. Got a few things. Got my spackle, right? I hope that's enough. It should be enough. I got a sandpaper thingy. Then I got a couple outlets, black. I don't know why I got these. I just did. Got some protective paper so I don't drop spackle and or paint anywhere. And I got some super flat, like just white paint. Basic stuff. I've decided, since the bricks bug me so much, I'm gonna try to sand them down just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. I have this idea that I can level them off slightly with this Dremel and fix it in spackle. So I'm already knee deep into this disaster. I might as well just try to make it better. I mean, it's bricks. It's not rocket science. I mean, imagine, if you will, basically just sand down a little bit of this, right? Come on, focus. Sand that a little bit down, like maybe to right there, sand that off, right? And then sand this off. Yeah, the brick will be a little awkward, but with that combined with a little spackle, maybe this thing can look better. Okay, I tried to hold the camera while doing the Dremel, but that is just not working, so I'm just gonna have to show you after. Yeah, I'm glad I wore eye protection, but need it better. Okay, this is so far what it looks like. As you can see, I kind of just leveled some of the bricks out. I'm planning, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna use spackle, so like there's a little bit of room there for error that I can make up with just some spackle and some sanding. But as a whole, those are definitely way more level, although you can see it here. Those are definitely way more level than, let's say, over here. Actually, this side wasn't too terribly bad. There's gonna be some that I need to like line up, but this one was not terribly bad. It was just the other wall that was absolutely horrible. I've spent a lot of time trying to make these seams look a little bit better. I have a paintbrush and I have a paint roller, so I'm going to be going through and painting all the cracks and then painting all the bricks. So that'll make it blend. But this is really just to, I don't know, hide the seams a little bit. A couple problems. One, you know, I didn't glue it to the ceiling or to the ceiling. One, I didn't actually glue it to the wall. I used finishing nails, and up until today, I didn't actually have a stud finder to know where the studs were. And even after I found out where the studs were, they don't line up to where, you know, the boards have to be stuck. So the finishing nails don't necessarily hold the panels to the wall as good as they should. So it moves a little bit. Basically, I might have a little bit of crack on my hands once this is all done. But that's how the seams look right there. I mean, they're not perfect, but I'm hoping they're gonna blend in a little bit better once I, you know, paint it. And I decided to basically go through here, and I still have some stuff here in the middle that I need to do, but basically decided to go through here and just kind of put spackle everywhere. That way it looks like, you know, spackle is everywhere. My hope is once this gets painted, this spackle doesn't stand out as much, and then it just kind of looks a little bit more distressed, but it'll still be all white. I'm doubling down. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna like this in the beginning. That's why I was hesitant, but I'm like, you know, I have to do something. Gotta do something. If I don't like it, I'll redo it and hate myself even more. But here we are. Time to let this dry overnight, come back, take a look at it tomorrow. I probably should have taken those things off. Faceplates. I don't know why I put them back on, but I guess they are kind of holding up the panels. Tomorrow I shall paint this brick wall white. I have a brush, and I'm gonna paint the centers first. This is gonna be a process. Ugh, I hate it though. Given it a day to dry out, so now I think that I just gotta like sand a couple of these joints down, basically, like these obvious ones where it just kind of sticks out just because there's so much spackle on it. So I'm gonna do that. I'm not actually gonna record that, but I do plan on setting up my camera and trying to get like the painting done, you know, because a video of painting is the single most interesting thing you could ever watch. Ooh, looking pretty decent. I don't hate it as much as I was when I was starting this. And also, let's just take a little moment here, right? Not a single speck of white paint all up on the Plex t-shirt or hoodie, so I'm really proud of that. But everything's looking pretty decent, if I could say so myself, at least for the first coat. Now, I painted this whole thing with a brush just because I wanted to try to use the brush, like you see here. I wanted to try to use the brush a little bit to kind of texture on a little bit of hiding, right? So I still need like this, obviously. I need to go back and like do just a little bit of touch-ups, and like some areas look thinner like that, right? And I might get the roller out and just kind of roll on some of these, like just the brick areas might need a second coat, a very, very quick and light second coat. It's not going to take very much at all, but it is going to be something that's going to make it just look a little bit better, a little bit deeper white, possibly. Or I'll just leave it as it is. I mean, you know, once it dries, it might look really, really good. I have no idea. Either way, if the next step is not a second coat, after that is basically going to be shelving or some sort of decoration. It kind of gives some ideas, but I don't really know for sure. So just kind of winging it at this point. I like the way it looks so far, but you know, I got to make it not just a plain white brick wall. You know, this is moving. I can hear this thing moving, like the way I suspended it. Like I feel like it's flexing. The added weight of the paint is probably contributing to that. Good thing I put wood screws or sheetrock screws at the top to hold it all up. And not a single drop on the carpet. But I mean, a few drops on this plastic. Oh, maybe. Oh no. Oh no, that's just dust. Okay, not a single drop on the carpet. Paper was definitely a good idea. But it is past my bedtime, so I am going to go to sleep. I don't know if this is going to wrap this up. You know, just in case this is going to wrap up this portion of the video, because I don't know what I'm going to do next. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more random videos from Byte My Bits, and have yourself a wonderful evening.